So here's a good question for you. How kind are you to people? Right? Like, how kind are you to your siblings? How kind are you to your neighbors or your coworkers or your parents or relatives? How kind are you? But then another question I would ask you is, how patient are you, right? With those same neighbors and coworkers, family members and siblings and parents and relatives, right? I think of 1 Corinthians chapter 13 in verse 4 at the very beginning. The writer, Paul, writes that love is patient and love is kind. What's crazy is that, at least in my life, I can be far exceedingly better at being patient and kind than I should be. In other words, what I'm saying is I need to practice being patient and being kind with people. And I bet you probably could too. I remember a specific story that I'm going to share with you. And I remember I was working at Red Lobster. And at the time I was hosting. And I remember I was having a pretty rough day, right? And so the guests come into the restaurant. And as they come in, there's a party of four people. And they show up. And I say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And they don't speak a word. They kept looking down, but not wanting to say anything. And then I said it again. I said, "Hi, how are you doing?" Now I was already irritated because I was going through whatever I was going through at college at that moment. And so I said, "Fine, whatever." And I grabbed the menus and I walked all the way back. Didn't even bat an eye. And usually when you do that, you're supposed to wait for the guests to follow you back and you conversate, look at them or whatever. Well, I didn't do that. I just walked all the way back to their table, waited for them to be seated and sat their menus down and asked, like, is there anything I can get you started with or talk to you about? None of them said a word, stayed dead quiet. And it was wrong for me not to say anything, but yet it was wrong for me to treat them the way they were being treated by me, even though I was having a rough day, which I was not kind and I wasn't patient. And so in the midst of that, I asked the server about it. I said, "Hey, so what's going on your table? How's your table going? Are they, what's going on with that?" And so the server's like, "Yeah, the table's quiet and they're not saying much. I'm trying to figure that out, but I hope their day's doing good." And as the server was telling me about this, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." I disregard it. Well, the server comes back up to tell me, he said, "Yeah, everyone is sat at the table because they're all, and this is a family of four, father, mother, a daughter, and a son." And the server told me that the table actually was having one of their last few meals because their mother has stage 4 brain cancer. Oh, the emotion I felt, the sadness I felt, the regret of not treating them well, right? And I'm just like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I just felt some type of way for sure. And as I'm still standing at the host stand, the party finishes their dinner. As they're walking back up, the father looks at me and says, "Hey, can you take a picture?" And he takes the camera from me. Or I take the camera from him, sorry. And I said, "Yeah, sure, of course." And I walk outside in front of the Red Lobster restaurant and probably took the last picture, one of the few last pictures that they would have of their mother and his wife. I say that story to say that we need to get to know people's stories. We need to be patient and kind with each other. And I'm learning that because you never know what is happening in the mind of someone you're talking to, what their experiences are, what they're going through in life right now, what they're struggling with. My challenge to you in 1 Corinthians talks about love is patient in the beginning of it and love is kind. We need to be patient and kind with people and get to know them and love on them because you never know what type of struggle, what type of addiction, what type of depression or worry or frustration is happening in their life. And we, myself included, need to capitalize on that by loving them like Jesus would love me and you. We need to love people well and actually get to know them, talk with them, pray with them, walk with them through the difficult season that they may be in. But we can't take for granted because we never know what is happening on the other side of someone's story. So that being said, I encourage you to take the time to listen, take the time to be patient, take the time to be kind. And I encourage you to do that as I'm working on it myself because you never know who needs your kindness and who needs your patience. And you never know who the Lord may bring to you for you to help them, and then they may help you too. So be patient, be kind with each other, but you never know what's happening in someone's life. So instead of being a regret or a mess up in someone's story, instead be the part of their story where they can say, "Yeah, I had this man or this woman really help me through what I was facing." So friends, be patient and be kind because your Heavenly Father is kind to you.